It is 6:15, Thursday. What's today, the 17th, I think. So I'm out cutting wood. Got a bunch of stuff that's down, other things that needed to come down, and kind of collecting for the next round of gathering before I take it over and segment it, start keeping it dry, and see what's burnable, what's not. This all here is off of this one. Oh, I keep hitting numbers. Plant some more. Come on, prickly babies. All right. From off of this tree here, which is box elder or box maple. Very, very sharp smell on this wood. There's a walnut. Some kind of a critter den. Very sharp, pungent smell on this wood. Almost minty at this point. You can see this fungus and shelves and ripples growing up. And it is fuzzy like old dry foam. There's some moisture down in there. Sap. Box elder bugs eat these under the bark there, and what happens is these various limbs that they shoot out, eventually parts of them get eaten away, and those ends of limbs die, much in the same way as the emerald ash borer, and then the limbs fall, and sometimes they are really big, like this one that grew out very low, that the tree might have gotten even taller if not for that. But this one I've kind of let anything that was broken off or dried out already, I went ahead and cut. And yeah, this wood, when properly dried, will burn extremely hot. It will smell somewhat similar to oak, although there are other tones. One of the things you'll get out of this wood, if you burn it, possibly if it's green, I don't know how, we'll see how it does with it fully dried. This has in some cases, in the burl, you'll see how twisted those roots are. If that was to be cut in half and pulled out of the ground, you would see a lot of fairly dark red streaking through it, kind of similar to how the black walnut has that dark brown color. And it smells like wine when you burn it. It smells kind of this minty smell is kind of the pre-fermentation smell almost. It's not really wine that I'm aware of. I don't think there's actually alcohol, although that would be hilarious. But basically, this is one of the ones that you can see how these straight segments grow next to this corkscrew willow leaning on it. This was one of the, in magical traditions and occult practices, this would be considered a crosswood. Not only capable of building a suitable crucifix, but also having the wine blood color smell thing going on in it. One of the other ones that's considered a crosswood is the black walnut here, of which you've seen me burn a fair amount as well. And I think we got white oaks and red oaks in the woodland here, both, because some of them turn earlier and redder, and some of them turn yellower. I think the red ones turn later. I'm not sure. I might be backwards on that. But anyway, so I got both kinds of oak. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to show that fungus, and this other one that's growing out from here, that is a completely different kind. Looks like there's some ants living on it. Oh, look, there's a frog. There's a frog in the holler in the tree. Look at him. Holy crap. So anyways, yeah. That's nuts. The frog's getting ready to hibernate for the winter in there. Because there ain't much going on. Oh. See, it's very interesting things this wood does. It's very, very interesting wood. And Next to it here, yeah, we've got a corkscrew willow. I believe this tree's actually still alive. There are, yeah, you can see that one sticking straight up right there is an offshoot or part of, yeah, it's an offshoot from this main trunk that is still growing. So there is corkscrew willow production going on here, and you can see there's mushrooms on, that's two little things on the side center frame. Those are giant elephant ear mushrooms. They grow all the way around at that point. Yeah, some really cool stuff back here between the Siberians, the corkscrews, and the box elders. And there's another box elder growing there. You can see the helicopters because it is a maple. Anyways, yeah, some other places I've just kind of gone around and where I could reach with the saw, cut some things down, some additional outdoor firewood. I'll get at least one more good bonfire this year to try and continue to dry some wood. Before I light that bonfire or ever burn it, I'm going to take all of these here that I have yet to work, plus these that I've now cut today and brought up from two smaller trees that were down. There's still two slightly larger ones that need to be segmented and hauled up and everything chopped. And basically, from what I can estimate, this stack of firewood, if I was to take all of that and just segment it like this and stack it, would be all the way up, all the way over, and probably to there in addition. So that'll get done here soon in the coming weeks and month. Then over here, I haven't done anything with that one dead walnut, the big one that's standing up. I'm still waiting for that to kind of come down on its own, or for everything else to fall away so that it's completely clear and I can just walk straight back with the extension cord and a chainsaw. This walnut tree here has many long branches that are also getting ready to drop off, as I think it's going to undergo a spurt into another taller generation, if not to just die. But anyways, there's lots of big branch hanging here. Over here is a little different story. Technically, the trees that I have let grow over the edge here are on the other neighbor's property, and I'm not really supposed to cut them. I do cut the dead branches where they cease to produce leaves. Cut them off at the joint, and eventually these will all do that, and they can be all cut off and whatever too. But there's quite a bit of really sizable thickness and aged mulberry just reaching out. I'll take you back and kind of show you that again. That one tree goes up and reaches all the way out to straight overhead of where I am, which is a good 30 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet from the fence. And some other places around, I had some dead Siberian on my side, and anything that's dead that's hanging over the fence line, I cut it right about at the fence line and just kind of clear it away. It's a fire hazard if nothing else, and this thing here I've got to get to eventually. And and that frog is probably dining on, I just thought about the frog in the little hollow in the box elder tree. Is probably eating them bugs, that's why it's so fat. This in here, that one's down. It just hasn't completely separated from the bark. I cut several limbs down with the ladder today to kind of work this one down. This is one of those ash with the emerald ash borer, and you can see there's lots of dead branches. And bit by bit, I'm going to work on getting them down. Eventually, I may see if I can get a pole saw or call the tree care company, because this stuff out here is all dead. Everything up there is dead, and eventually these are going to break off and fall in a high wind. My preference is that they not fall on the roof of my house. Same with this tree. There's lots of branch death going on. There's this big sucker here, which is basically your center crown. And then this whole limb here is actually on the verge of needing severed as well. You can see that the woodpeckers have really gone to town on it. You can see what the cutting does, kills a tree. So this is going to have to come down, and I think what I'm going to do with these two trees once they come down is I'm actually just going to stack them out to season right there in the middle of this grass. And this all out here will be... 2 years ago I had a bunch of branches and stuff that I collected and brought up to here, things that I dragged around everywhere else. I just cut them all up here. And I'll probably do that again and make this a firewood field. Plus, depending on how much of it I get this year, then I can start stacking firewood in a way that maybe can also be used to snowdrift fence, because I want to prevent snowdrifts from going across my driveway this year. And lacking the budget, it's going to be interesting to figure out how to do that. There's my box elders is back there on the other side of that little dip down. Give a little context of where I've just walked. So yeah, you can see how much of that tree is dead. And that one too. So I'm gonna get them. And eventually all of it. Then probably the next year or two will be seasoned firewood. Definitely burnable in the fireplace at that point, but I don't want to have to burn this stuff and potentially build up creosote in my fireplace, considering the creosote logs are $15 now and price is probably going to go up. So anyways, that's the end of my day here. I spent the afternoon logging and trimming. And now I will set this to upload. Hope everybody has a good Thursday.